Well, I did say on the Facebook page that it would be a part 9, and this is it. I've actually won a raffle. It's a long time since I won anything, and what I managed to do was get a few days fishing at Cherry Lakes on Cherry Spring, staying in Kingfisher Lodge. And Beloved and I arrived fairly late yesterday afternoon. Spoke to the fishery manager, Dave, who suggested a couple of areas I might try, so rather hurriedly got the rods out for last night. It's been a very quiet night. The only bleeps I've had is from coots diving on the bait. We're now in the first morning. It was a bit cold last night, much colder than it has been. The water temperature when we arrived was 8.7, something like that from memory, and the air temperature this morning is just about getting to 7 degrees, although it is still fairly early. It's about 7/4 the weight. Haven't seen any fish moving, so spend a few hours watching the water, see if we can see anything, and then make up some bait, maybe some crumb and some liquids, and decide on some spots that I'm going to put a bit of bait into and hopefully attract something interesting along. There's plenty of fish in this. I'm sure Dave said there were 400 fish in this particular water. They have reached 30 pound now. Fingers crossed that something turns up for us. Anyway, as soon as it does, I'll get back to you and let you know. Well, the sun's getting on the water now, so it should start warming up over in that corner where I've got one bait. And hopefully later on it'll start warming up all over. This is one of the rigs I'm using. It's obviously a Ronnie or spinner rig, something I'm relatively new to. I didn't jump on the bandwagon, but giving it a go this trip, which is attached to some 45 pound pin down, and you can just about see it there. I've got the Steve Renyard boa part attached to it, so you've got a springy part there, which I think might help with the barbless hook. Fixed to heli safe, which is the new heli safe, which is fixed to the tubing. Now, I bought them when they first came out, before they got withdrawn, threw their bead in the bin and then used their split bead on a bit of silicone and tubing. I can't see the problem with it. I love to use a heli rig, and on places you can't use any leaders of any kind, you have to use tubing. It solves the problem. Okay, that's the maggot rig I'm using. Actually, that's got 6 live maggots on, believe it or not, but they're not looking too clever, are they? Bit of cork just to pop it up. I've balanced it out so that'll all hold up in the water. It's about an inch off the bottom, inch and a half off the bottom. But at the moment, that's getting absolutely mullered by crayfish. So I think we're going to change that fairly soon. And that is basically my go-to first choice rig. In this case, it's barbarous hook because it has to be barbarous on these waters. It's a Milky Bee wafter. Small bag of crumb and pellets with some pop-up foam in it, some 20-pound pin down, and the attached bag will hold it up till the PVA melts and just let it flutter down gently. As a bit of an afterthought, I tend to use the products because I like using the products, and I mention what I'm using because people ask me what I'm using. I'm not sponsored in any way. I've got no desire to be sponsored in any way. There's no ulterior motives out there. When I stop liking something, I'll stop using it and I'll move on to something else. But as long as people ask questions, you get a straight answer. Well, this is the morning of the last full day. Still haven't seen any fish moving anywhere. Been moving the baits around to, I don't know, a good dozen spots. Keeping them moving every hour. Trying to find something, but really are scratching here. Weather's good still. It's not particularly cold for the time of year, but there we are. It is what it is. Well, well, well. Out of the middle of nowhere. Wow, not the biggest thing on the planet, but we have saved the blank. Well, we haven't yet, have we? Come on, baby. There we go, that'll do. There we go. Last afternoon, and we've actually cracked it. Oh, I don't know. Haven't weighed it, mid-double, I suppose. Perfect condition. On a Milky Bee pop-up this time. Just gotta love it this time of year. So happy to get one. I don't think he's even a scale out of place on that. Excellent. Let's get her back and find some more. Okay, just a quick look at what we're putting in the boat. It's the Steve Renyard bar rig, which I showed you before. And put a little bag of pellet with the pop-up foam in it. And then the mix I'm using is some 10mm cell, some 10mm live system, just to mix it up a bit, some crumb from both of those, and some red and white maggots, and just literally a sprinkling of corn in there as well. There's some few liquids thrown in there for good measure, some liver powder as recommended by Leon, and just a couple of spoonfuls of that going in. And that's about it. That's what's going out on the spot, and that's what produced that one bite so far. So we're going to put a second rod straight on that spot. Well, we've come to the last morning, slowly putting things away, packing the van up. I think the trip was saved by that mid-double common I had yesterday afternoon. I thought, in all honesty, once I found a fish, maybe I'd get a few more, but it wasn't to be. Weather's been really good for the time of year, so I can't use that as an excuse. Anyway, we've done our best. It's not happened. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet and you fancy a go, don't forget, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified when it's all happening again. Thanks for watching. Cheers for now.